Want to welcome you guys and gals back again. You know who this is. Joseph James here. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. We were talking about this earlier. Apparently, they have April Fool's Day everywhere on this planet of ours. So no matter whether you're a U.S. citizen, you're out in Europe, you're in the Far East, up north, down south, sounds like everybody has April Fools to worry about. So hopefully nobody out there this weekend got caught up in any fools. Bottom line is, here we are. Happy April to everybody. Welcome back. Monday morning. First things first. I want to remind everyone this morning before we talk about the trades we took today, and again, it was a really good day today. Boy, we needed that to come back after a rough end of March. Want to remind everybody aboard this morning here to be careful out there with the risk capital. If you're not a member with us yet, when you join as a member, I'm going to give you some very important scenarios to consider. As a member, I'm going to provide you with your trading plan, which will detail how to properly manage your trades. Included with that trading plan will tell you how to properly manage your account. Managing your trades, managing your trade account, managing the emotions that go along with it, guys, managing the risk that comes together with these markets. These markets are very volatile, which means we can really make a lot of money. There's a lot of reward out there, but there is risk out there, so please be careful with your risk capital. I want everyone to feel comfortable taking it slowly, going to a demo account, then move to one contract, right? Small account size, then keep going. Okay, so be careful with the risk capital. Speaking of risk capital, boy, didn't need much of it today. We really made a killing today here, and it all began with 3 clues. Now, the first clue, I would say, came from the news this morning. Even though the news really wasn't much of a clue, it was a lack of clue, wasn't it? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is the first thing we talked about today, and again, we'll do a quick review here right now, and then we'll go right into training. We're doing an orientation today for members. If you were with us this morning at 7:30 a.m., we post the morning prep. And we talked about here this morning about how we had 8:20, 9 o'clock, 9:30 U.S. Open. Wait a second. What does that tell us? That tells us there's no major news on a Monday before the U.S. Open. That's a big clue. What does that tell us, guys? That tells us to be patient. Now, why would that tell us to be patient? Because much like everybody else out there, nobody wants to get back to work on a Monday morning. The same reason why you and I want to make that weekend last forever is the same reason why the market's going to be sluggish on a Monday morning. So as the traders kind of wipe the coal out their eyes, get back to their desks, they get back into the rhythm, it takes a little bit longer than normal. The exact opposite is true later on a Friday. On a Friday when traders want to get out of the market early. So the first clue we saw this morning, in my opinion, was the lack of clue. It was the lack of news before 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which told us be selective, be careful getting in started too early this morning. Okay? Doesn't make much sense to go forcing trades. The second clue we got here, a very easy clue. And if this sounds like a broken record, it should. I always joke around when people say, Joe, you repeat yourself so much. Why do you repeat yourself so much? And I say, because when I repeat something, you know it's important. I'm not just repeating myself to hear myself talk. So I've repeated myself a lot of times today on this one big concern. What was it again? It was the dollar wedge, and it was the inside day. There were 3 sub-clues. The big clue we had today, second clue, was the dollar index. What do we have here? Well, we had a wedge. There was my price wedge. What else do we see here? We have an inside day. There's my previous highs and there's my previous lows. What else do we see? Trigger zone, right? Trigger zone. Swing high, swing low, trigger zone. Right there as resistance. Okay, so we talked about this first thing this morning. First thing I do is I look at my chart and I find the price structures. Once I have the price structures located, then what do? I think to myself, what is likely to happen because of these price structures? And then once I think of what's likely to happen with these price structures, then I work on how to trade that. Now, since this is the dollar, I'm not going to trade the dollar, but I'm going to use the negative correlation. So again, what were the 3 sub-clues of this? The first sub-clue was resistance overhead and support below with that wedge. So the wedge was the first sub-clue. And what do we do with a wedge? We sell the highs, we buy the lows. Next sub-clue, inside day. I'm below the previous high of day. I'm above the previous low of day. What does that tell me to do?